And welcome live to Pilcher Court. I'm Tyson Strayer.
And I'm Sharon Weaver.
Here with this basketball contest between Iowa Central Community College and Waldorf University. So, Sharon, first time we've really got to call a game here since they've had this little bit of a break. They had a long time during Christmas to come back and think about it. They've played one game since then. But we haven't had a chance to talk about it on air. As they get this first possession going, what needs to change and what did they do well the first half of the season?
Well, they're still a really solid basketball team. I think they slowly but surely found their identity with three guys being their main scorers and a solid supporting staff. They have their big three. They have their backup guys. If they can continue to have a formula somewhat like that, I think they're going to be successful the second half of the season.
And one of those support players from the wing, David Miller, just got himself his first bucket of the day.
Yep. Swinging the ball around the court now here. Getting back to the top of the key, pulls it. Oh, nothing but net from the top of the key.
Not much you can do to stop him there.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Brian Abbey.
Oh, good speed, getting all the way to the rack, can't finish.
And Trey Croft was extremely hot before they went into the break.
Yeah. And then right there, that's just a tough left-hand layup that you got to get your body under control and finish off the glass there.
If there is one thing Trey Croft has showed, he is willing to shoot himself out of a slump.
Yeah. Oh, real deep.
And that's two in a row. Now you got to start rotating over on him.
Yeah, we saw him doing that during warm-ups, folks. I didn't think he would actually come out here and start pulling them from the volleyball lines, but
so it's 2 to 6
surely
now.
did.
And all 6 points from Bryson Abbey.
A couple sweet three-point shots.
So now this is going to open up the middle because they absolutely have to get around on the rotation on him.
Yeah, you definitely got to guard that three ball. Once they hit a couple, it's definitely time to draw out the defense.
And that bucket goes in. They're in zone now. In your general opinion, this Iowa Central team, better built for zone or man?
I definitely think they're more of a man team, in my opinion. They aren't ridiculously sized in the middle, so it's not like you have one huge guy in the paint sending away shots. But I'll tell you this, when they play man, they definitely have the athletes to stick with other teams.
Whistle here on the floor. Bryson Abbey picked up his first foul. So, big day for him already. 6 points and his first foul.
And his first foul. He's basically been the only name you've had the ability to say so far.
Good passing around the perimeter. Trying to get inside.
Yeah,
now Croft will have a chance to drive.
Wall, big three here. No good.
Didn't end up in points, but good vision from Croft there.
Yeah, great job trying to follow his shot there, though.
Close to the basket, he still had the eyes up and saw Miller open.
Yeah, definitely a great passing decision, but the middle of this defense has not been breaking so far. Looks like we got an illegal screen there. Yeah, looks like we're going to have a moving screen right there. Ball's going to go back to the Tridents.
It's a call that sometimes officials are hesitant to give it on because it's seen as contact and part of the game, but his feet definitely weren't set.
Oh, nothing but net on that three-point jumper. It's a great shot.
Swift and Croft. So far, all 5 of Iowa Central's points. Pardon me. Miller and Croft.
If that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take for the Tridents tonight. Great rebound.
And good defense being played before it. Ben Hayes straight up and down, making the shot difficult.
Oh, that's a travel. Yep. Saw that one coming. Definitely moved off that foot way too fast without a dribble.
Robert Hawkins picking up there. First time in the year that he's been on the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he can. Obviously, that shows coming out of the break. Maybe they saw some development in him that they wanted to get on the floor.
True. That's going to be the first turnover for the Tridents of this evening contest. Oh, big man stretching the floor out a bit.
Mike English there. Seems to be a good jump shooting team, at least early.
Yeah,
Waldorf.
They've been shooting extremely efficiently, knocking down their shots so far. And that one's sent away. Fast break opportunity here. It's 3-on-1, though. Great transition defense by the Tridents. Oh, he's got to go up with that one. I don't think he understood. I don't think he knew how open he was.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an easy turnaround layup. But
so as this one going to be turnover in transition, chasing it down is Croft, but he's going to get Euro stepped over and then all day to shoot on the rebound.
Wow.
But talk about not knowing how much room he had. I think I think the first shooter was hearing footsteps that weren't there.
Without a doubt.
Hawkins pulls it down.
Great rebound. Offensive boards could play a major role because neither team is very big on the inside, so crashing the offensive glass could be huge. In and out.
Does everything but go in for Ben Hayes.
Yeah, that's a tough break. You got to start hitting some of those shots real soon.
Now working on the outside. They haven't really gotten much deep in, but they've been hitting their shots outside.
Very true.
So from a defensive standpoint, let's talk about that. Usually the game plan is to force these long shots or to force these mid-range to deep shots. So what do you do when a team shows the ability to just hurt you there?
Well, when the team's beating you deep, then at that point you really have to start just selling guys out and saying, hey, we got to play them tight. Don't give them any kind of breathing room. You got to stay on their jersey the entire time. That's how you would play a team that's really killing you from behind the arc. And as I say that, nothing but net.
And how about that confidence from Ben Hayes? He has a near miss early.
Yeah.
He doesn't usually get a lot of opportunities to shoot, but he comes back, finds himself open again. He's not shy at all.
Yeah, that's the most important part about being a shooter. Confidence is the key. If you have great confidence, you'll probably be a really good shooter. So.
And a short memory.
Yeah. And there's going to be a travel there, and that's going to result in their first turnover.
And that travel bailed them out. You see Pilcher over there making a couple adjustments because the defense was not covering that back door.
No, they weren't. So that's going to be their first turnover there of the first half. 14:45 left to go. Oh, great drive. Great
Saw the
take.
lane and taking it.
Yeah. Easy right-hand layup.
And now you see why Ben Hayes, towards this, for the first 5 or 6 games, more of a bit player, but now you see why he's taking a bigger and bigger responsibility every game for him.
Yes, sir, you do. Working in there on the inside, and looks like that one's going to go against him, and that's going to be another turnover.
And another unforced one.
Yeah.
It's not like he got a little shove and made him take that little bit of an extra. He was in open space.
Yes, sir. And here we go. The Tritons are going to take the ball out here on the sideline. See, this dribble penetration has been working so far for the Tritons. He gets in quick, gets a good dribble penetration, and that gives the next man he passes it to a lane. Great pass.
Just inside-out movement.
Oh, another travel on the Tritons, and that's going to be their second turnover of the game.
I think that's 3 for Waldorf and 2 for Iowa Central.
Yeah, quite a few turnovers, and we're only 6 minutes into the ball game here.
And as you mentioned, we are only 6 minutes in. As we go down, one thing that Iowa Central, it's not an advantage you'll see right now, but one thing they do have going is that there is a excess of talent in that bench for them at either level.
Very true. And there goes another turnover for Waldorf. That's going to be their 4th. Very early here. Left-hand 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net from the corner. That's a great bucket. Knocked it down. Nothing but net.
And, it's easy to say. And it's always a cliche thing. And the thought behind it is right, but I've always hated the process when you say, as this 3 gets drained. It was Isaiah Tomlinson. When people say when he's hot, he's as good as anybody.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're hot, you're good. But when Trey Croft gets on a roll.
Yeah. He can definitely put up big buckets in a short amount of time. He's kind of like he's got that whole microwave thing going for him. It doesn't take too long to heat up, but once it's hot, it's extremely hot.
Not a bad shooter here. Swift gets himself a foul on the outside.
Yeah.
And that's another mental error because fouling someone behind the line.
Never, ever a smart idea. That's easily one of the coach's biggest pet peeves about closing out to a shooter.
I mean, and you're not making the odds in your favor because a good free throw shooter at this level of college is going to hit, about a third of their shots from outside of there?
Yeah, easily.
So then you go to the line and let him shoot 3 from a 80 or 90% range.
Yeah. I mean, even if he doesn't hit all 3, hits 2, that's basically a layup he just gave up for free. And he knocked down both, 2 out of the 3. So here we go. Waldorf is going to bring the ball up here, past half court now. Trying to work that elbow, not finding anything. They're going to swing it over to the wing, up to the top of the key. Looks, pulls, Knocks it down from the top of the arc.
And elbow jump shots
Yeah.
have been the story and it is the hardest thing to defend in basketball. What
Very
do you
true.
do to go about bothering a jump shot?
It's brutal. It's tough. It's harder nowadays because people are really good actors. I'll tell you that, Tyson. So when you have a guy that's a really good actor, you can't really close out too strong because you might end up drawing that foul that might not be a foul. But even still, you have to be smart enough to know that jump shot's coming.
And speaking of defense, not a lot being played right there. Croft just drove through the middle of 3 of them.
Yep. Ball game 17-17, tied up here.
It's been a really good ball game.
Yeah.
Been offensively dominated.
Very true. Hate to say it, not a lot of defense happening right now. Oh, great weak side help there.
Hayes gets himself the steal on the end of it. But really all the work done on the wings.
Oh, over in the corner. No good, but great offensive rebound. That's another one for the Tritons.
And Hayes was about an inch there from really feeling it right now.
Yeah. Great take.
We've been talking about the other shooting guard, but Swift can do himself some scoring, too, as we get this timeout going in. We're going to go into this breakup, 19-17 Iowa Central. We'll be right back in about a minute on the Triton Nation Network. And right back here, there's 11 minutes left, so pretty much the midpoint of this half. Well, both teams have been having their way offensively. What does each team have to do adjustment-wise to stop that?
Well, someone's going to have to play some defense. Just simply someone's going to have to find that grit and that determination to actually want to play some defense because so far in the first 10 minutes of the ball game, we have seen it very seldomly, a good defensive stand by either team.
That's been the best form of defense for either team. Miller
Yep.
picks up a travel, pardon me.
Yep, turnovers are just about the only thing stopping either of these two offenses at this point.
I mean, you want to keep it under 10 turnovers a half at least.
Oh, for sure.
And now both teams have given up 3 travels apiece. So
Yeah.
just on that.
So I will tell you this, that definitely still makes no coach happy at all. But I think it's about time to shake off some of that rust there for the Tritons and get things going.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you why it bothers coaches so much, and you know this. It's because from a travel you gain nothing.
Yeah.
Let's say you go up and you're playing defense a bit too hard and you get a foul. At least you stop the you sent a message. You did something, but picking up the travel.
Yeah, it's not very helpful. And it's definitely one of those basic fundamental things that every basketball player at this level at least should have under control.
Yeah, and especially at this level, because the farther you go up, the more the officials tend to have blindfolds on when it comes to how many steps you've taken.
Very true. Well, and they're going to say no possession to either team, so that's going to be a shot clock violation and another turnover for Waldorf.
And the fourth unforced.
Yeah.
3 travels and a shot clock violation.
That's brutal.
I shouldn't say unforced. A shot clock violation means they made you work deep.
Yeah. Which means that the Tritons played some phenomenal defense. He's going to pull from 3, and that's short off the front of the rim.
Still up 19-17 Iowa Central. Just over 10 minutes left to play.
Looks inside. They've been going inside pretty up. Looks like we're going to have a push. That's going to go against the Tritons, and they're going to take the ball out from underneath.
And you can see as Cam Swift picks up the foul down there. When they have been going inside, it's when they've had their big man 32 down there, Ayers, one-on-one with Cam Swift.
Yeah, he's definitely been trying to work inside, and he's going to pull up from the free throw line there. That one's strong off the back line iron.
That was a really smart play by Ayers. He knew that he'd just beat him on the drive, so he knew Swift might give him a little bit of a pocket to shoot, and he did.
Yeah, definitely a smart jumper. Another 3 put up by the Tritons. That one's no good, off the back of the iron.
Now, this is a personal philosophy question because every coach does it differently. But at what point on a team that usually shoots really well from the line, as a coach, do you say, this isn't going our way, we need to back off the 3-point shots at least for the next 5 or 6 minutes?
I mean, I definitely think that's one of those things that the players would have to know for themselves. Once you start missing 3 or 4, you're like, okay, maybe we should try to push the ball inside. Let's get something going. on the inside, and maybe that outside shot will start opening up. But coach philosophy, I'd say, once they continue to miss like they just have, you definitely got to set them down and say, boys, it's time to go to the rim.
Because everything else in this offense is working. They've been able to pass inside and drive inside at will.
Yeah. And that's going to be another foul against the Tridents.
Second team foul.
That's going to be their second team foul.
Got Croft.
Yep. About 9:24 left to go here in the first half. You're looking in the corner here. Another elbow jump shot. That one's no good. Seems like the team's gotten a little bit cold since that timeout we just took.
Not a lot of layups played today.
Yeah. A lot of jump shots so far. But it seems like the driver might have run a bit dry for each team here.
It was such a hot start. Eventually it had to even out.
Yeah.
But yeah, with about 12 minutes left, it was 17-15. Now it's 19-17.
Yeah.
And that's 7 minutes later.
And there goes another turnover for the Tridents and another turnover. Back and forth with the turnovers. This has got to be
Do we
frustrating.
even count that one, or is that just a temporary loss of possession?
I'm not sure what we count that as, but they got a fresh shot clock for it. He's going to pull for three. That one finally falls, and that's going to...
And you can see that was Swift.
Jeez.
Swift has 10 on the day.
Yeah.
But you can tell just by watching. Croft a little bit more athletic. Swift a little bit more selective with his shots.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He took the right shot there, and he buried it. That's going to be about the first field goal made in the last few minutes here, and there's a layup for Waldorf.
So now a little bit of offense going. It'll be 22-19.
Yeah. Let's see if both teams can keep this up with no turnovers. No turnovers, excuse me.
Swift over to Hayes. Now Miller. Miller's got the height advantage.
drive.
And he uses it.
Beautiful left hand finish off the glass. Some nice English there.
And that was some good isolation basketball. Noticing that you had the size advantage, go after it.
Wow. Surprised we didn't get an offensive call there. Looked like the elbow might have extended a bit.
Honestly, for a lot of this, they have let the physical basketball go.
Yeah. Nonetheless, that's going to go as a bucket and another travel. Whoa.
There's 4 for Iowa Central.
Yeah. I think I know the trending topic of this game. Traveling.
And what's really, it's such an instinctual just lapse of, it's such a split-second lapse. Can you just physically focus and take that away? How do you prevent the travel?
Sometimes you just got to make sure you put the ball on the ground before you get going. That's the most important thing. If you don't put the ball down first, then your feet are obviously just going to go, and that's when they get the travel call.
And you much more experience as a player than I have. Is it just a product of getting ahead of yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely a product of trying to go a mile a minute, which definitely is not going to work. And it looks like that's going to be an and one. Great take to the rim, finish out the left, finish with the left hand. But as you're saying, yeah, it's definitely a product of trying to go a mile a minute, which you just have to slow down, let the game come to you. You can't do too many things at once.
Hayes goes out, and Stuckey comes in.
Here we go with some free throws now. He'll have one.
For Iowa Central, Stuckey coming in.
Sit down.
We haven't got to call his name at all this year, but with both teams playing a bit of their reserve team,
yeah,
we get to see what
Stuckey's got. The first
got.
time we've seen him. I'm excited. It's always fun to see some new guys, some new faces, get some playing time in games like this. Great weak side help again. It's going to force the tip and a turnover. And he lost the ball there. Tough break.
Now chasing back over. Wow.
Yeah, great drive.
Nothing fancy about that.
Good speed. Took it straight to the rim. He's going to do the same thing. We're going to have a call. Looks like they called that one on the floor. No shot. That's going to be their 16th foul. Scores 27-25. 6:19 left to go here in the first half.
And with 6:19 left, Iowa Central having 2 team fouls and Waldorf having 6. Neither team really in too much trouble for themselves.
No, not yet. Not just yet. Great out-of-bounds play. Gets an easy bucket. Right underneath the rim.
Stuckey gets his first 2 of the year.
Yep, smart underneath play. You knew he drew that one up very well. Well executed. That one's no good. Rebounded by the Tritons. Great defensive board. He's open.
And
boy.
That was really close to being bad.
Yeah, dangerous situation there.
Everyone just let out a sigh when he landed without falling on him.
Very true. That's always a very, very dangerous situation.
On the possession before, Kadarius Williams might have gotten away with a walk after a bit of a shove there.
Very true. So it's going to be a 1-and-1 here for the Tritons. Looking to extend the lead a bit. And he hits the first of 2. He's going to go ahead and get one more here on the back half of the 1-and-1.
DeVaria Loggins at the line.
He hits the second.
2 for 2, and of course, as has been the tendency in this game, as we mentioned before, one team bringing the varsity reserve team, another team using this as a chance to use a lot of their reserves.
Yeah.
Loggins, another freshman, getting a chance to show.
Yep. And that's another missed 3. But they try to save it, and that's going to go off his teammate. So the ball's going to go over to the Tritons.
And anyone that, the higher up you go, the harder it is to get time, obviously.
Yeah.
But these little chances you do get to get a few minutes on the floor, it's really important to show.
Very true. It's important to show what you can do, show your abilities, but now play ahead of yourself. That's one of the things the coaches are looking for. They're trying to make sure you still play within the scheme of the game, but you can still get buckets even in the scheme of the team.
Because high school, college, it'll never change. Freshman, you come in on your first game, your first thing you want to do is make a statement, and sometimes you try a little bit too hard to push it.
Yeah. You got to know what you can and can't do. You never want to go overboard. Looks like that's going to be another reach in, so Tritons are going to head to the line.
And they'll do so with about 5 minutes left to play, 5:12.
And luckily for the Tritons, they only have 2 team personal fouls, so they can get a bit more aggressive on the defensive end if they'd like and really extend this lead out. It's 31-25 now.
And you say that, and you have a very good point, but also they've only given up 25 points in the half. They don't really need to change a thing on the defensive end.
This is true. That one's going to be strong off the back of the rim. Can go ball on the wing now, up to the top of the key. The pressure has picked up a little bit out there on the wings. Contesting. Good back cut, great pass over to the corner. But that one's incomplete, and another great rebound.
Another thing this game is trending towards that I like, that I enjoy just as a spectator, because I do love fast basketball and transition play, but there's been a ton of half-court offense played.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of good screens, a lot of good ball movement, in and out basketball handoffs, good screens by the Tritons so far. Really good half-court offense. Pulls up for 3, and that one's no good. Another in-and-out 3 ball.
And driving in again. He's done that twice. This time, the first time he drove through 3, this time driving through 4.
Yeah, very nice move there.
Aaron Holiday.
Pull up 3, he knocks it down.
And you can see Holiday clapping because he knows he just gave it right back.
Yep, very nice left hand stroke from downtown.
And now Croft edging 1 point ahead of Swift in the game they pretty much play between themselves every time this team takes the court.
Very true. We quite frequently see the Croft-Swift show here in Iowa Central. Score 34-27. Tritons up by 7 points here. Another 3 ball. Knocks it down.
And sometimes when you have 2 guards that are shooting as well as Swift and Croft, everyone else's it does not become a 2-person show. Everyone else's job is to get them the ball in space and play good defense to make sure you don't get outgunned.
Very true. And that's been the story so far. The lead stretches out to 10 points now after that big 3. That one's no good, and another board.
And how about this for a junior college basketball game? A game that's usually runs. This is how close this game has been. 10-point lead, biggest lead of the day.
Oh, boy. That one's going to be a block, and he goes down hard.
That looked really ugly.
Yeah, he is still down.
He's getting helped up.
That's a tough fall from that angle. Definitely went down
And
a bit odd.
he's holding his lower back, but I was way more concerned about the back of his head.
I agree.
He says he wants to take him. The official giving him a little bit of a grin as he steps away.
Yeah. That's definitely a tough fall from that angle. Kind of pulled the chair out from underneath him.
We'll see how the bearings are.
First one's no good. He's going to have one more here.
So we'll go to the line and take a second.
Yeah. And it'll be tough here to not get points after taking that fall. He gets one. I would definitely be upset with myself if I had to take that fall and then get any points out of it.
Also, the one thing that second one does, and it doesn't completely confirm anything, but that does show that he was at least seeing straight.
Yeah, that's always a relief. Swinging the ball around here, the key.
And
a pull-up three. That one's no good.
And
Another rebound.
It's really a happy sight to see him get up, because I'm not even going to lie, when you saw him going down, I was expecting to see a substitution for him, and I was expecting to go to injury timeout, to be perfectly honest. It was a bad-looking fall.
Yeah, he did not look very comfortable as soon as he hit the deck. Did not look good. But I was going to go over. This is going to be a turnover for the Tritons once again. An errant pass. Skips out of bounds, but their offense looking to do some work here. Gets the ball down low, and that's an easy finish.
And that's the first time they've really been able to utilize that inside pass. They used it once before.
Hasn't happened too often here in the second half of the first half. So,
but neither team really, as you mentioned before.
Quick pull for three, and that one's stuck in the side of the rim. You really don't see that too often anymore. People don't really get the ball stuck in there anymore. It seems like when you were little, that used to happen all the time, and no one could get the ball down.
Ever.
That's rough.
That's one of the only benefits of being 5'6", 5'7". You were never part of that.
Yeah. We do have a guy up in the booth with us today that definitely never had that problem, getting the ball stuck on the side of the rim and having to go up there and get it because he is 6'6" tall.
Yeah, the announcers both come to you humbly below 5'11".
Yeah.
Cameraman.
Okay. Look, for the record, I will say this, folks. I'm 6 foot with my hair, so I'll take it. I will take it.
Got 4-inch hair?
No, man. I'm 5'11". Oh, great right-hand layup. Way to finish there on the inside.
So, yeah, we were both firmly in the let's go grab a broom.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, that's floater. Beautiful.
Score 40-31 here. Hitting the 1 minute mark. That fast clock slowly approaching. There it is, my favorite clock. Looking to drive inside. Wow! Strong take. What a finish. That's going to be an and one.
And the awareness. Because he knew he was going to take a hit at the end of it.
Yeah, he definitely knew he was, especially going into such big bodies. He's not the tallest player on the floor easily, but that's a great finish on the inside with the right hand.
And as you mentioned before, the reason we're probably seeing a lot of outside shooting, and the reason both these teams probably game plan around outside shooting, neither of these teams really have a 6'10", 7-foot guy that they can just chuck it to in the beginning.
Not too much length, not too much height for either team as he knocks down that finish, completes the three-point play there. But, yeah, not an amazing amount of length for either team.
Ton of athletes.
Yeah,
ton of
athletes. And we have seen plenty of shooting. Score 43-31. Tritons up by 12.
And as far as athletes, that man that just touched the ball right there, number 10, Aaron Holiday, might have the most explosion on the court, but he can't get the drive going.
I tried to save that one, but that's going to go right into Croft's hands. He's going to look to make something happen.
And now look at this one-on-one. I really love this Croft on Holiday matchup.
Yep. Tick, 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 clock going down into 20 seconds. 15, 14 on the shot clock.
How much time do you like to give yourself to work?
You got to have just enough to make sure that you could pull up and be comfortable and possibly get an offensive rebound, but they won't need it there, and that's another big three ball. We're going to have 3 seconds left to make something happen.
Holiday.
2-1.
Oh, can't get it to go.
No good off the front of the rim. Big lead going into halftime. Tritons up 15.
I have to say, though, we have to be even-handed to both sides. That would have been the end to a fantastic half from Holiday.
Yes, it would have.
He's played lights out, but they're going to go in down by 15, 46-31. We'll be back in about 15 minutes on the Triton Nation Network. And back getting ready for the second half of this basketball game. We talked a little bit about what we saw in the first half, but what adjustments for each team do you think were made?
Well, for the Tritons, obviously they have to just keep playing good, solid defense. They only gave up 31 points in the first half, which is extremely impressive, especially against a team that was shooting so hot to start. So if they keep playing good defense, they'll easily come away with the win. But as far as Waldorf, they'll have to find a way to continue to get the ball inside because that's where they were doing the best from in the first half.
And on the other side?
I did the other
No,
side.
I'm saying on the offensive end. Any adjustments need to be made?
Here we go. All right, you confused me a little bit there, Tyson.
No, I'm good. I see what you meant.
Offensively, if Trakoff keeps doing that, they're definitely going to win this contest. But as far as Waldorf, they're going to have to find a way to keep pushing on the inside, because they've had a tough time so far to start things off. Later on in the first half, they had a tough time getting any kind of bucket inside or outside. So they're going to have to find a way to put up some points and not turn the ball over.
And speaking of putting up points, there's 16.
Yep. Goes up with the left hand, as I expected him to. Finishes it off the glass.
So now looking up, they've given up 50 points, Waldorf.
Yeah.
And 31 of them combined them into Croft and Swift.
Yeah.
We've watched Croft and Swift play a lot of basketball. How do you shut them down?
Well, I mean, you can't really cut one off without, letting
Opening
the
up
other
the
one
other.
flourish. So, I mean, at that point, it's kind of tough, especially when you have two guys, just feeding off what the other one's doing. So, I mean, one gets hot, you have to guard that one, then the other one gets hot. So, you definitely just have to play better defense. I know that's hard to say.
I say, honestly, and correct me if I'm wrong, the best bet might be just to pick one and hope the other one doesn't beat you.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, that's probably the only option they do have is pick, let's trap Trey and hope Swift doesn't go off. But we've seen how that's been working out so far. It hasn't worked out.
Swift there pulling down the rebound. And what's really tricky is sometimes they even switch off who's playing point.
Yeah, they do. They're very good at doing the whole tandem. You can do this, I can do that. We'll take it turns. They're very good at sharing the ball.
Swift Croft a bit quicker, a bit better driver. Swift a bit taller, better rebounder, better shooter.
True. That's a very fine assessment, Tyson. Proud of you.
I learned.
That's the inside buckets that they've been looking for, but they haven't had very many of them. That's going to put the lead at 50-33. Trident's up big.
And now we mentioned they made this adjustment with about 5 minutes left in the second half. Now Waldorf does own the tallest player on the court by a couple inches down there to Stod. He's at 6'9".
Yeah, big boy down there. So that hopefully they'll find a way to start working the ball inside a little bit more.
And there, he's just dribbling around everybody walking the line.
Yeah, those were phenomenal handles there. He finishes easy off the glass.
That was one of those, I think two defenders both handed him off to each other.
Very true. That was going to be a hand check there.
And that was Miller driving onto Stod, and there's a lot of length between those two.
Hey, at that point, you just got to hope you dribble past him or you hope you draw a foul.
17 left in this ball game.
That's going to be the first foul we've seen so far this half.
Neither team really found themselves too deep. They played a pretty disciplined first half.
Yeah.
Oh, Miller.
Knocks it down from the elbow.
Good job identifying open space, and he got there quick.
Very true. That's an easy jumper. It's one of those you practice, every day in practice. Yeah.
And Miller, offensively, defensively, it might sound like criticism by soft praise, but it's the one thing that sticks out. He's just so fundamentally good.
Oh, boy, what a block. He consumed that basketball in midair. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Oh, man.
That was the combination of Swift and Miller down there.
Corner three ball. Knocks it down.
But what I was saying was he can do things like that, and he is a lanky kid, but one of the things that really stands out about Miller is just how fundamentally sound he is.
Welcome to three-point land.
Three-point land was open for about the first 10 minutes of the first half, and then it got shut down.
Very true, but it's open back up, which is always good to see.
But that's the way it goes. Yeah. Three-point shooting is notorious for going hot and cold.
Yes, very true. We've seen that be the story so far of this basketball game. Waldorf has gotten extremely cold. Iowa Central playing very, very well so far.
Both of these teams use three-pointing as part of their offense. It's not the main part
Yeah.
of either of these offenses. But as the game gets more and more shooting-oriented, do you think it's feasible to build an offense around this perimeter game?
I mean, if you got some of the best shooters in the league, and you know, I wouldn't say it's not plausible. It's hard to guard. I mean, it's tough.
Speaking of,
Oh boy! Look, Croft was trying to cook something up that entire possession. I'm kind of upset he didn't get the ball a little bit early to do something with it.
And I'll tell you something. When he did get it, the shot looked pretty, but the amount of ground he covered with that back step, he just left him.
Yeah, he had to. The clock was ticking down. He had to put up a shot pretty quick. So that's going to lead to that foul there. It's going to lead to 2 free throws. He's going to miss the first off the back iron.
That's one thing I always like about Croft is, you know how sometimes, and we see it all the time, late in the shot clock, someone will end up with the ball in their hands that you can tell isn't really feeling what they have to do. They don't want to take that shot. Yeah. Croft never looks uncertain.
I think Croft always wants to shoot. I know that sounds kind of a bit mean, but he's a shooter, and he has an offensive-minded mentality, and he goes out there and does it.
He's more than willing to dish when it's there, though.
Very true. When he needs to pass, great step back. That one's no good.
I don't know how to describe the other one. That ball decided it wasn't going in.
Yeah. That one just kind of rattled around the rim a couple times. No good. They're going to swing it out to the wing here. Still great defensive on the wings.
And
defensive
that's the
pressure
second
on
one.
Wings. Just travels out of bounds. I'm not sure if their offense,
and
dictates a guy being there, but no one there for the second time in a row.
I think the man around the wing was supposed to rotate over. He was on his way, but they were nowhere close.
Yeah, you definitely have to make sure someone's there before you pass it to him. That one's pretty important in the game of basketball.
And, that's honestly, you said someone's got to be there. It's funny because I know how teammates work. That's when you're going to watch and debate about whether someone should have been there quicker or the pass came too soon.
Very true. That'll lead to a lot of bickering after the ball game. And that's a right-hand finish. That brings them a bit closer. Still a 17-point lead, and that's going to lead to a Triton timeout.
They got about a 10-point lead early on. For the first 5 minutes, it was really back and forth. So then Iowa Central got a 5-point lead, then 10, and they've slowly stretched it. They haven't taken a lot of steps back.
Yeah, they've been building ever since the late there in the first half, and they just kept piling on.
And with this 30-second timeout, probably a good timeout taken. There's a lot of pace being played.
True.
Both teams have had to run themselves up and down. But really, the reason there's a 30-second timeout is because from Iowa Central's point of view, and honestly from Waldorf's point of view, not a lot to discuss tactically. Yeah. Both teams have done what they wanted to do.
Yes, sir.
And we're coming back in here. 14 minutes, 35 seconds left to play.
Three ball off the glass. The bank is still open, folks. It's late, but the bank's open.
He'll tell you later he called bank.
Oh, for sure. I didn't hear it from up here, but that's all right. I'll take his word for it. 3-point land, still open for business. Goes for the drive, left hand, no good. Goes back up and finishes.
Couldn't get the rebound at the end of it, but Swift's defense on that first shot, really good.
Very good. Another 3-ball. They're open for... And it's a travel. Sorry, folks.
The bank was a bit too far away to get to.
Yeah, Pete, he traveled a bit too far. Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
You just really wanted to go.
I did. I really did. I was excited, but then I heard the whistle, and it's all right. Great jab step there. Can't hit the shot, though. Great jab step. That's a very underrated move in basketball nowadays. That jab step to get a guy going the other way. Great cross. Can't finish with the left, but he's going to get hacked, and he's going to go to the line.
If he went with the shot that he planned when he left his feet, that's a blocked shot.
Yeah.
He hesitated just long enough to draw it.
Well, that hang in the air, that hanging in the air is very important for a basketball player. Knocks down the first of two.
And is it safe to say he's fully recovered from that spill he took earlier?
Yeah, I definitely think he's okay. Little halftime rest, plus coming out and knock down a few shots. That would definitely get you going in the right direction. And that's going to stretch the lead out to a 20-point lead in favor of the Tritons. And another missed layup there, rebounded by the Tritons.
Miller
Croft on the move
way.
again. Look
he
at
got
him.
Swift in the corner if he wants him.
Another foul. This guy is just drawing fouls. He's out of midair.
But he knew he had a one-on-one matchup he liked.
True.
Then
He
he beat his man, and then the entire defense converged on him.
Yeah, he's definitely been attacking it. And that's one of the things that defensive player you have to learn. As soon as a ref sees that arm swing down in any shape or form, it's more likely than not going to be a foul. Another free throw hit for Croft. He has been extremely accurate with his free throws today.
And that's so important for a guy like him because he's so quick, he has so much movement, and he's so agile that he's going to draw those fouls.
Yeah.
So whether or not he hits his free throws is going to go a long way.
Yeah, it's huge.
And now he's going to go take a seat. And, with a game coming out of a break, it's kind of the middle part of the season. There's still a lot of basketball left to play. They're up by 22. The coaching staff might just decide that Trey Croft has done his job for the day.
Yeah, you definitely want one of your star players to have enough rest and time to rebuild that body. And with only 13 minutes left to go, I definitely wouldn't see any point in putting Trey back in this ball game.
Unless you want to keep rhythm. That's about the only thing I could think.
True. This is true. But at this point, we've seen injuries happen late that are definitely unforced and unseen. So you definitely want to make sure that everybody stays healthy in a ball game like this.
And as this game gets deeper and deeper, with about 10 minutes left and about 8 minutes left, we'll see how long that they decide to leave the string on Swift and Miller.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not too much longer. Thinks about it, pulls, bang, 4-3.
He made you think he thought about it, but he knew he was going three the entire time.
He was just messing with us, folks. He knocked down that three. Smooth as butter. That 3 point's going to be knocked down.
And he is quick on that first step, but he's also really long in the arm. It's hard to get anything to bother him.
Another three. That one's in and out.
And now at this point, they're stretching the lead a bit farther, but with 25-point lead with about 11 minutes left, Iowa Central really is going to focus on possessing the ball and doing things like that.
Woo! Sweet take. Great finish off the glass with a little bit of contact. That's a nice finish.
And we mentioned early that Noah Stokely was going to get his first prolonged a bit of action for Stuckey, and he's done brilliant.
He really has. He's definitely come out and played very well. I think these guys will try and keep shooting threes because they just want to hear me make weird noises up here, Tyson. I don't know. I'm throwing out weird comparisons. I'm not quite sure what to say. They keep scoring a lot of points, so I'm going to the drawing board.
I have to appreciate it because every time you just decide that on the spot you're going to try to come up with an analogy.
Have to.
And it's about a 60-40 shot that it's either going to be amazing and I'm going to be so impressed with how clever you were, or I'm going to end up laughing.
Yep. Either way, I think I did my job. Honestly, I think I have one brewed up for the next 3-point shot, so I can't wait to see if the Tritons hit another.
Oh, well, now I know you didn't do it on the spot.
Yep. Hey, that's all right. Hey, sometimes some of these are pre-planned, trust me. I don't come up here just willy-nilly. Great defense leads to a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay. But that's great defense there, going straight up and just grabbing the ball with two hands there.
And to have the body awareness to keep yourself off of him while you're doing it.
Yeah. Very athletic move there. And going to have a whistle.
That's the 7th travel for Waldorf.
Oh, my goodness.
Iowa Central, to be fair, also has 6, so we're
about to run out of fingers to count these travels with, folks, for each team. It's getting a bit unruly. So here we go now. Tritons with the ball here again. Oh, he's wide open. Oh, he picks up the dribble, decides not to take the shot.
That's probably the product of the score.
Yeah.
And they're definitely in ball possession mode.
Yeah. Steps in, just takes the short corner jump shot. That one's no good off the side of the rim.
Because, the last thing you want to do up by 27
Yeah.
is start going down and only having like 5 or 6 second possessions and missing threes.
Yeah, that definitely will make any coach take a timeout, even though they are up by more than 20 points, and give the players a nice stern talking to.
Gonna have to track this into the backcourt.
Yep, that one's gonna be over and back. Excuse me.
So the third ball just thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, this has been happening extremely often.
The other two are products of the system. I just think there was no way they planned to have someone where that ball went.
True. So here we go, trying to the ball here again. He comes off a few screens. Looks to work the baseline, finding someone in the corner. Ham and cheese! All buckets from the corner.
Newly entered Dylan Burgert.
Told you I had one cooking. I told you. Ham and cheese, perfect combination. Can't go wrong with it. Told you I had one cooking. I don't think you believe me.
Peanut butter and jelly's better.
I don't know. You got some protein and you got some calcium on one sandwich. I don't know. Can't beat it.
You know what? These are the kind of arguments we get into. Because now I have to look up whether there's more protein in an ounce of peanut butter or a slice of ham.
That's actually a fair argument. I will. Okay. I got my money on the ham. The fact that we can have this conversation, with a 30-point lead here for the Tritons, I'm not quite sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I enjoy it. I do. I enjoy a nice 30-point ball game because the last few times we've commentated an Iowa Central basketball game, it's come down to the very last possession. So
every time.
Yeah. So this is quite a relief.
I guarantee you, the fans might rather have it the other way.
Yeah.
We get to call a better game the other way. We're not going to have any, broadcasting moments of brilliance in a 70-40 ball game. There's really not a lot of drama to talk about except for just how good Iowa Central has been all day.
Well, that's debatable.
I guarantee you one person that is really happy that this thing isn't down to the wire and is glad that they're taking care of business. No one's happier right now than the coaching staff.
Oh, without a doubt. They're beyond happy. They don't have to be on their feet for 95% of the ball game, so they're pretty happy. But I don't know. Back to what you said, we're not going to get any great broadcasting moments. I don't know. I feel like ham and cheese might go down in history. I have no idea. I don't know.
Ham and cheese might go down in history.
Ham and cheese from the corner. That's all it takes. Man.
And just going on, because now they're just stretching the lead, and barring a miraculous string of events, really no way Waldorf's going to get themselves back in this ball game with the time allowed. One thing that this does show, and it's hard to, you don't want to praise a team after beating a team that they should beat because they're clearly the better side here.
Yeah.
But what it does show is the mental toughness that you have to have over a season. Because when you play as tough of competition as we play in this conference, when you get a winnable game, you better go win it.
Yeah. Especially you got to win it well too. You don't want to go out there and just beat that team that you're supposed to beat by 2 points, 1 point. You definitely want to go out there and put a statement out there for sure.
Because you don't want anyone in the conference, and it is a tough conference.
Indeed.
Or any of the voters for the side, because at the end of the day, who people in the press and in the coaches think is the better team is going to matter.
Yeah.
Be able to look at this result and go, oh, they only beat a team that they should have beat by 20, by 5.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
I lost. We just had the research. There are 9 grams of protein in a slice of ham, and there are 8 grams of protein in peanut butter.
Folks, I just want to say I'm not the greatest at everything, but I am the greatest at being right. So
being right. That's really that's a vague.
Nope. I know what I'm going for, and I mean it. Man, I am good. Holy cow. Honestly, I think it's hilarious that it was only a 1 gram difference, but I will take it nonetheless. Wow, that is magnificent.
You know what? I'm glad it was only 1 gram because that means you were way more right than I was wrong.
This is true.
I was very close.
This is very, very, very true. Oh, man, I'm happy. I'm getting multiple wins today. I'm getting a win in the basketball game. I'm getting a win in this bet that we just had up here.
pause on Isaiah Carlson is fourth, 17.
You know what? If I was really
Brooker shooting 2 for the Tritons.
Man, it's good to be right, folks. I tell you, it is good to be right. You know, as being a guy with a girlfriend, I don't always get to be right. I'm not always allowed to say that I'm right, but it feels good to be up here and proudly say that I am correct, at least once today.
I'm not going to take that away from you.
Thank you, Tyson. Thank you, man. I needed it. It's been rough, but I will take it nonetheless. So here we go. Anyway, there's still a basketball game going on. Score 74-44. Tritons up by 30. Excuse me. Make that 28-point lead now for the Tritons. Basketball game still going on.
And now a lot of rotations in.
Yeah.
Swift, at the moment, the only man that started this game.
Yeah. Looks like we got Croft back in the game here for the Tritons. Interesting to see him back in here.
He did get a good 8 or 9 minute break, so
Yeah,
8
definitely.
on, 8 off shouldn't hurt him too bad.
Definitely a good little breather there. Approaching the 8-minute mark.
Each team has this player. But it has to be said, Cam Swift gets absolutely no breather through the entire season. He's fine with that.
Honestly, I don't think he minds. Still looks like he's running just fine. Still doing his job. 3 ball. Biscuits and gravy.
That's a good one.
Nothing but net. Sweet jump shot from downtown. Tyson, I really hope they quit shooting threes because I don't know what else to say.
You're out of combinations already?
I just don't know what else to say. I feel like I'm not being original anymore, but I'll keep going if they keep shooting them. Well, we might put up 100 this ball game, folks. Cotton candy.
That's not even a combination.
It's cotton and it's candy. Boom, in your face.
It is neither.
It's sugar. I know. Leave me alone. They just keep shooting. I don't know what else to do. I'm running out of things to say. This is a great basketball game, though. We're still up 30 points.
And you know, it's not like football or baseball where you can kind of decide to just stop scoring.
Yeah.
You can't send your guys out there and say we're up 30, stop shooting.
Yeah. That's not how that works.
Especially not in a game with a shot clock. So
Very true.
basketball's a little bit different. You kind of just have to keep playing the game, and however the score ends up.
Because they definitely still count as turnovers, and those are, you still have to count them as turnovers, even if you are up by 30 points. Knocks down the first one there. Okay, you know what? Just to appease my buddy up here, Tyson. If they hit another 3-point shot, I will have a better analogy for you. How's that
Biscuits
sound?
and gravy was fine. Cotton candy is a bit.
Now, I'll tell you this. I feel like out of the 4 people in the studio and in this broadcast booth right now, they will agree with me that cotton candy is a combination of 2 different things. So, with that being said,
Cam Swift exits the game with 22 points on the day.
and that's gonna be a carry there, and yet another turnover. This basketball game is probably not going the way that they expected it to.
So I'm gonna ask you a tough question.
Shoot it.
It's always a tough question. Swift is rebounding, distributing. He's got 22. Croft is moving around, driving through the defense. He's got 20. Who's had a better day?
Oh boy, that's not fair. That's kind of putting a James Harden and Russell Westbrook in comparison together.
James Harden.
We'll have this talk off air. But I will tell you this much. At this point in the game, you're extremely happy with how both players have played. But if you had to pick with how one is played, you might take Croft just a little bit over Swift. Swift over Croft simply because he's been grabbing a bunch of rebounds. Also, the defensive side of things, we've seen Swift make a bunch of incredible defensive plays this game.
Should be mentioned, the next time we have this game, we'll probably be voting for a different person because they just take turns having phenomenal days. And
They really do.
And today, they both decided it was their turn.
Very fine games by both gentlemen tonight.
And Miller grabbing another rebound. He's at 15 now. That's great for him.
Yeah. Man, this is an amazing game. so far for the Tritons. It's always good to see it in the corner. Folks, that was close. I was a bit nervous. Honestly, I did not prepare a combination in my head, so that would have been tough. Actually, I have one. Yep. Folks, I hope a 3 ball's coming up here soon, because I got one.
Don't hype people up for your catchphrase. It's not.
Shoot the 3 ball, Trey.
It's no fun if you know you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun. I'm enjoying myself. Oh,
That's a deep 2. That's a deep 2.
He cooked him up right there. He cooked him up. He wanted that ball the entire possession, and he got it. He cooked him up right there. Sweet jump shot.
He worked that deep, but he knew once he had it one-on-one what he was going to do with that.
Oh, easily, easily.
And we should mention, while they're both stuffing the stat sheet, Swift and Croft, the other part of the 3 core players in this defense.
That's a travel there.
The other part of the 3 core players on this team, Miller, is in other ways had himself just as good of a day. Rebounding everywhere. Defensive post has been great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indeed. And this is the kind of play that the Tritons have to have the rest of the season. They have to keep games like this going. Even against better competition, I definitely think that's a good formula to help them win games. 4 minutes and
it's
about
good
40
to see,
seconds left.
And it's good to see Miller getting on because everyone on this team can shoot, it seems, on this Iowa Central team.
Yeah.
But Miller, when Miller is physical, they need that.
Yeah. 86-50 here now the score. This has gotten slowly but surely completely out of hand.
Ten-point game going into half. Iowa Central hasn't looked back.
Yeah. This has slowly turned into the old grandpa at the family reunion that you just can't contain. Things just keep happening and you can't really stop it.
I have no idea what you just said.
You don't have a family member that comes to every family outing and does something completely rambunctious. You can't tell me you don't. We all do. We all do.
I might be that family member because I have
might be.
no idea.
You know what? We're also not going to have this conversation right now, but I'll tell you later.
I feel like
Jeez.
Grandpa Weaver just got called out.
Hey, look, Grandpa Jack, I just want to say, you know I love you, big guy, but you're one heck of a man. Shot from the elbow. That one's also no good. Score still at 50 here. It's 88-50. Man. Now, normally we would talk about something happening in the basketball game, but the only thing happening is Iowa Central scoring more points than the other team. And that's it.
And at this point, really, all you're trying to do, get your young kids some experience,
Very
get everyone
true.
some touches. You're trying to keep momentum going. Because as weird as it sounds, if, like, let's say Waldorf goes on a run right now, 3-pointer, up!
Root beer floats!
That is
Boom.
a combination of 2 things.
Dynamite.
How did you do that? First you said cotton candy, which sounds like a combination and isn't. And then you went with root beer float, which doesn't sound like a combination but is.
You know, honestly, it's fun that you said that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, Tyson.
That's gonna be the subtitle of my autobiography, so we're all good.
Oh, man, this has been truly something else. I'm actually going to start working on more combinations while we're up here. It's 91-50. Here we go, 91-50 ball game. Iowa Central Tritons up top. That shot's no good. Working for the rebound there. Collected by the Tritons.
So now you can see Iowa Central completely on cruise control. All 5 starters are reserve players. I'm sorry, all 5 players on the court right now. Oh, that time they just leave it wide open for Sucky.
I don't know, folks. What a ball game it's been. 93-50. Triton's still on top. 43-point ball game. At this point, it doesn't seem like anything is going Waldorf's way, to be completely honest with you. Triton's still having an amazing ball game. As I said before, we just might hit the 100. And there's a 3-pointer. Draws it to 40. like my mom always likes to say, anything is possible.
Driving in here on the kick out, 93-53. You know, I've always said that, you know, the best way that coaches do is here's three-pointer, rims out. But it's always said that, you know, the solution to how do you not unnecessarily put up points, and the answer is put in your reserves, obviously.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think that honestly works in reverse, because sometimes you put a kid in there who hasn't played all day and is like, I would love to put up 20 right now.
Yeah, and they simply go out there and just do it. Which you can't blame them for doing it. They haven't played, and, you know, they don't get the opportunity to get a whole lot of minutes. And when they get out there, they're
And I will say
playing.
this, and this is one of the things I love about Iowa Central all the way through. Winning is one thing, but it's also a very class organization. They hold themselves to a high standard, especially I know Pilcher holds these boys to a high standard of, you know, attitude and respect and how you treat it.
True.
And it does look bad. It's 93-55, but they have handled this game about as gracefully as you can. They're waiting till deep in the shot clock.
True.
They're not taking, you know, ridiculous shots. They're not trying to show off. They've just stuck to the game plan. I think it's just about all you can do here, and I'm proud to see the way they've handled this big lead.
True, they've definitely been letting time just tick away slowly but surely. I hate to say it, but I can almost guarantee they were ready to get out of here just as much as, you know, the next guy. 3-point. No good.
You see, you say that, but and this I love the energy. But did you see the starters on the bench?
They were excited.
They were ready to go.
They want to see their boys get their buckets.
Seems
That's
like
exciting.
a very cohesive team unit from top to bottom.
Very true. Deep three. Ouch. Okay.
And as you can see, this is going to end up 93 to around. It's going to end up in the 90s and the 60s. Not a whole lot of defense played tonight.
Not sure if anybody else is going to shoot a three ball, but I will tell you this: I really hope they don't, because I have zero things left to say. And this ball game is going to slowly come to an end. Triton's huge, ginormous, humongous,
Impressive.
I don't know any more adverbs to give you. I'm out, totally out. So, 93-58, final score. Ball game over.
Really, honestly, just impressive take to take. There were times in the first half where it looked like it might get close. They never let it.
Yeah.
They slowly carried away. And really, this is a game they came into the day having a good feeling like they should win. They went out, took care of business. I've got really nothing left to say except for pretty much everyone that touched the court did their part phenomenally today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, folks, for watching the stream tonight. Have a good one. I'm Sharon Weaver.
I'm Tyson Strayer, and you've been watching basketball on the Triton Nation Network. We'll see you for the next one.